All right. So one of the hardest parts of the entire ebook business is actually just coming up with the idea. For me, I struggled with this a lot. And, you know, picking your idea in the first step is kind of what determines what you're doing in steps 2 through 9. So that's why it's really key that the idea that you pick is something you're passionate about, something you're interested in, that you don't mind spending time on. And that's why I always just tell people, one of the easiest ways when you're doing your niche research, and by niche I just mean the topic or the narrower topic that you're about to write your ebook on. One of the easiest ways to do this and get started with it is just kind of starting with what you know. From me personally, it was personal training and it was fitness, and that's a lot of the websites, a lot of the ebooks that I built at the beginning were purely based on the things that I already had knowledge about and that I could dive into a single aspect of the niche without having to spend too much time on it. And so that's what I would recommend for pretty much like 99% of people starting. If you actually have some experience, then you can kind of go into other niches and you can learn it as learn the niche and the topic as you're writing the ebook. But for majority of people, just starting off with what you know is a great place to do it. All right. So once you have an idea, for the sake of this video and for these examples, let's say that I have a lot of experience with student debt, student loans, financial aid for college. And I went through that entire process. I've paid off my debt, and I feel like I'm an expert in that, and I could help people by sharing my knowledge. So let's say that's the topic, the niche that we selected. Well, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go and perform some keyword research. And the main thing with keyword research, it's just to figure out what the saturation level is for that niche. Are there a lot of websites? How hard is it going to be to rank and get traffic and get customers, potential customers to that site so that they can buy your ebook? If you're looking at Amazon, how many ebooks are out there? If you're competing with 5,000 ebooks, then obviously even if there are a lot of customers out there, they have so many options, it's not going to be easy for you to get sales. So with keyword research, there's actually two specific tools out there that are probably the most well known, the most used, the most popular, and just probably the best out there. So the first one I'm going to cover is a Market Samurai, and Market Samurai is the older of the two tools. And the great thing about them is they actually do have a free trial. If you go to their website and look for the free trial, all you have to do is submit your email and your name, and you'll get a 30-day trial for the software. And that's actually the first thing I ever did, and the tool is awesome, and it gives you a in-depth look at, let's say you type in student loans into Market Samurai, they'll give you hundreds and hundreds of different combinations of other keywords that are related, and these are the keywords that you're going to target with your ebook. So you know, Market Samurai is great. The newer tool out there is called Longtail Pro, and Longtail Pro is actually created by Spencer Hawes over at Niche Pursuits. If you guys haven't heard of Niche Pursuits, highly recommend you check him out. Spencer doesn't really deal with ebooks per se, but the research aspect of finding niches for potential online businesses. His website is full of great information, and he's actually created Longtail Pro to actually do the keyword research and the competitor analysis. So this is the one I actually use now. Highly recommend it. And it's probably, this video is not the ideal place to go into much depth and show you guys the actual software, but he does have two plans. And I personally would say if you're new to keyword research, I would go with the platinum. I know it's a little bit more expensive and you do have to pay that monthly fee, but the thing is, this is the key. Whoa, wow, sorry about that, guys. But this is the key thing that differentiates pro and platinum, and it's pretty much the fact that he actually has his own proprietary algorithm that helps calculate the keyword's competitiveness. And you could personally go and learn about all the different metrics that make up how competitive a keyword is. but he's already done that for you. So, that $27 in the first couple of months can save you a lot of time, a lot of stress, and actually narrow down that niche a little bit better than if you were to go out there and try to learn all this by yourself. So, I would recommend Longtail Pro. I would definitely recommend trying out Market Samurai with the free trial, seeing if you like it, and then also trying out Longtail Pro and getting, if you do get it, I wouldn't even bother with the Pro. I would just go with the Longtail Platinum. It's the same price. You just have to pay the $27 a month, which, once you start selling ebooks, you'll be able to, that'll be the first cost that you need to account for. But this is an extremely, extremely valuable asset when it comes to determining whether or not a niche and these keywords that you're trying to target are even worth going after. Because if they're not worth going after, then any ebook, any other cost and the time that you put into it, automatically you're probably not going to recoup your costs. So definitely picking your niche, doing this keyword research is one of the most important things. All right. So now that we have looked into the keyword research, the next thing you're going to do is just straight competitor research. You want to go take a look at what type of ebooks already exist, how many of them are there, are they getting reviews? So let's just go to Google real quick, student loan ebook. And I actually ran this a little bit while back, but you can see that there are ebooks out there. And Longtail Pro will help you see whether or not how hard it's going to be to get your website ranking above the collegeinvestor.com or equaljusticeworks.org. Just if you are to target this keyword and you think that someone searching this has the potential to buy your ebook, you're going to see how many other people are ranking there. And once you run that through Longtail Pro or Market Samurai, you're going to be able to see how difficult it's going to be to rank above them and get all that traffic so that you're selling ebooks, right? So another easy way to do it too, another thing you should definitely check is just go straight to Amazon and do a search there, and you'll see that some of these ebooks have 43 reviews, 2 reviews, 48, 41 from 2009. You can see that there's a lot of ebooks out here on student loans. So at this point, you can kind of decide whether or not it's even worth pursuing this niche, or if you should just go back to step one and start doing some niche research and trying to develop some other ideas that you could potentially write about. But once you do these 2 steps, you should, at the end of this, have an idea, a niche solidified, a list of keywords that you want to target, and then you can actually select that niche and then move on to the later steps in this process. But when it comes down to it, there's going to be 3 factors that you want to take a look at before you actually solidify that niche. It's going to be 1, your knowledge of the topic. How long is it going to take you to learn this? Do you already know it? Are you going to pay somebody to write about it? If you are going to pay somebody to write about it, how much time are they going to have to spend? If it's a highly complex technical subject, it's going to take them longer to write the ebook, and it's going to end up costing you more money. So you got to weigh the benefits of that. And then the second one is saturation. Like in the competitor research, how saturated is this niche? Are there a lot of people writing about it? Or is it fairly open and there's traffic? And that traffic ties into the volume. Are people actually looking for this subject matter? Are people willing to spend money on this subject matter? So these 3 factors are essentially, obviously it's not a precise science. Sometimes you have to just make estimates and go with your hunch as to whether or not this is a viable niche for you to select. But looking at these 3 things in the idea generation stage is the entire goal. And that's going to save you, once you have a defined process and you can kind of tell whether something is viable or not, it's going to save you a lot of time and money and a lot of stress. So, that's the main thing here. And it's not going to be easy right off the bat, but as you maybe your first ebook is not great, you go into a niche that's super saturated, you're not able to get any volume, but then you'll eventually start figuring out what it takes. And then, your 10th, 12th, 20th ebook you're going to be in these niches that you're pretty much the only competitor. The volume is there through your keyword research, and that's when you're going to start hitting your stride and you're going to start seeing an uptick in the sales, and as a result, your monthly income.